Why are Americans seen as extroverted or outgoing? From the earliest settlers in colonial America, this trait was required for every person willfully coming to America. Think about how brave one would have to be to get in a wooden boat with basic technology and head off to a land of unknown. There were no photographs of what you would see upon arrival, no life jackets, no GPS systems to navigate your way, no radios to call in for an emergency, no technology to predict the weather. You heard stories of shipwrecks countless times leading up to this, with mass casualties. Yet, you made the decision to go. You were going to a land of unknown, and this was before Isaac Newton had even discovered gravity yet. For all you knew, when you got to America, there could be monsters roaming around and the trees could be rainbow-colored. Making that decision to cross the grueling Atlantic Ocean was the first step in cementing America's culture of being outgoing. Before I continue, I would like to say that there are brave, outgoing, extroverted people in all parts of the world. I also would like to acknowledge that America was not the only place people went when leaving their home country. I am highlighting America because every person living here who is not a Native American has either immigrated personally or their ancestors came to America at some point. Fast forward to the 1800s and the largest human migration in history at that point was occurring. Over 500,000 people from just Germany left their homes and went for America. Millions of people left Ireland, arriving in America. This influx of people was flooding Castle Garden, and this prompted the opening of Ellis Island as an immigration processing station. Nearly 4 million immigrants from Italy came through Ellis Island, out of the 12 million total of people who came through Ellis Island. Over 500,000 immigrants were processed on the West Coast, from Australia, New Zealand, and China, to name a few. Many of the people coming to America at this time were trying to lead a better life, and were often fleeing religious persecution, extreme poverty, or a dysfunctional government. All of those people had children, grandchildren, etc., and they make up much of America's population today. America still welcomes massive amounts of immigrants to this day, with over 45 million people currently living in America who were not born there. Being raised by someone who had to uproot and leave everything they knew in their life behind passes this trait on to the new generation. For example, the opposite of this mentality is someone who has never stepped foot outside the town they grew up in and has only worked the same job their whole life. Not that there is anything wrong with that, because that is a safe way to live. My point is that the people who chose to immigrate are going to have a different perspective on life. They can speak from experience that sometimes you have to take risks in order to get what you want in life. They will also teach their children to appreciate things, especially if they left a country under financial or political distress. This is why America is seen as the land of opportunity, and the rags to riches mentality seem to come from. Yes, America has had rough patches for certain groups of people in history, but we are constantly improving. It is important to remember how America's population came to be, and that it would not be the superpower it is today without the hard-working and brave people that helped build the country and its enormous wealth. Taking in some of the greatest minds from around the world allowed some of the most important innovations in history to be made.